Are you aware that vandalism is a capital offense and attracts a prison sentence of not less than 10 years? Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Malaiti Talk with ZESCO. I am your presenter, Hamulondo. Malaiti Talk with ZESCO is a platform where the power utility will be able to communicate and interact with you, its customers. All you have to do is be able to send us your comments, your questions, your contributions, and even some of your concerns, and we'll have them attended to right here on the program. Vandalism and theft of ZESCO installations poses a serious threat to ZESCO's ability to be able to provide safe and secure electricity supply. As of March 2022, the company ZESCO lost over 9 million kwacha due to vandalism or destruction of its property countrywide. Joining us this week on the program is Mr. Kapika Hamulondo, ZESCO Head of Security. Stay tuned.
I would love to say that this is the third time this vandalism has happened on the same area, same transformer. They come around this time, thieves, when it is rain season and when grass has slightly grown, because they know they will not be spotted when they are doing the vandalism. We need to mobilize ourselves and make sure that the services that are being provided by utility companies are secured. If we can come together as well and come up with ways in which we can protect these installations.
They are really affecting us because we have businesses to look after, we have businesses to take care of our children, our families. Now, if they start like vandalism, the way they are doing it, stealing things, these are our things. You know, these are not the ZESCO property. These are ours to be using, like the power. It's ours to use. The ZESCO people are there for them to help us. And they're really helping.
Kubeliwa kwa transformer kumaononga vintu vambiri because chimapezeka ti ma problems yamapezekamo ni yakuti malaiti yamaenda area yonse yisiyana na load shedding. Load shedding malaiti yangaende but kusite kwina ngo yamapezeka. So mu community yatu olo kuma areas konse tikapeza ti muntu agwira transformer tifunika kumuonesesa uja muntu kubagwira. Sitiziba kuti ni bantu bwanji bamene bamaenda kuma transformer. So tufunika tutasenzera pamozi na boma because ise tikagwapo tikaona because boma singakwanise kuyenda pali ponsi. But ise tikaona pamene tili pafupi tikaikumanya ja group baja abantu tufunika kuti tabakonka bwino and tapasa report.
Whilst we are load shedding, vandals are now creeping in again. All right? They know that this place is actually dark. They go there to vandalize. So when you see an aspect where sometimes when electricity is supposed to come after, for example, 6 hours, as we were doing it, and now 4 hours, the electricity is not coming because the vandals have already done their job, and therefore there is now delay to go and install or repair the vandalized cables, if you like. But let me just sound this warning. If you are caught vandalizing ZESCO installations, you are in for it. This is not a joke, and this is not just a threat, it's a fact of history.
Our main topic of discussion for this week is vandalism or destruction of ZESCO property in our communities. Joining us this week on the program is Mr. Kapika Hamulondo, ZESCO Head of Security. Mr. Kapika, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here with you today.
Mr. Kapika, there's someone who might be watching this interview today and have absolutely no idea what vandalism is. Briefly describe what vandalism is.
To be ZESCO specific, vandalism simply refers to any willful or malicious acts that brings about the disruption in the power generation process or in the transmission network system or in the distribution network system to a point where customers get power. So from the generation point of view, elements such as turbines and any other once interfered with, will amount to vandalism. Whereas in the transmission network, tampering with towers, angle bars, or even small elements such as bolts and nuts, once interfered with, will amount to vandalism. Whilst in the distribution network, which is mostly affected by the scourge, tampering with ZESCO poles, for instance, be it transformers or cables, will amount to vandalism. So from the law point of view, that is from section 341 of the Penal Code Amendment Act number 17 of 2007. Simply put it as any interference to these elements that are involved from the point of generation of electric power to the point of it reaching to a customer, it will amount to vandalism. So in short, it is any interferences of the power from the generation point to a point where it reaches the client. Any interference in the system will amount to vandalism. Yes.
So the company ZESCO recently announced a load management exercise. So in this period where ZESCO is actually load managing us, the customers per se, how prevalent has this scourge of vandalism been, and how bad is it?
Well, the vandalism scourge is quite prevalent here in Zambia. For instance, 2022 we've had cases, we've had 1,154 cases of vandalism recorded, of which I can gladly say we managed to arrest 427 persons with over 130 convictions recorded this far. So it simply tells you that this scourge is quite serious and very prevalent in Zambia. Though the good news is, at least for 2022, we've at least managed to reduce in comparison to 2021 by a margin of 11%. So we are slowly getting to where we want to be, but it is quite a very prevalent scourge that we have.
How does vandalism affect ZESCO as a business?
Well, resource-wise, ZESCO is heavily affected. Every day we lose millions of kwacha through the vice of vandalism. For example, if your house is, a cable that brings power to your house is vandalized, it simply means that ZESCO is not generating the much required revenue. And also from your point of view, if you bake scones, for instance, which you supply, it simply means that your business is affected. So from that angle, on a large scale, it is actually an economic hazard to the nation. Okay? ZESCO also make losses in that it loses time. Instead of taking resources to new installations, ZESCO is made to buy these vandalized elements so that we continue supplying.
So what does the law say about vandalism and destruction of ZESCO property?
The law actually is very clear when it comes to vandalism. Just looking at the importance that it attaches, all cases of vandalism are triable under the High Court of Zambia. For instance, if one is arrested for vandalism, it gives a minimum penalty of 10 years imprisonment with a maximum of 25 years. Okay? Just mere attempting to vandalize, it will attract a sentence of 8 years, which is a long period of time. Okay? Assisting someone or abating or aiding someone to vandalize will also be deemed, to have actually done the act of vandalism. It will also attract a penalty of a minimum penalty of 10 years. Okay? Other than that, using or for instance, you give your car to a vandal to facilitate the vandalism, the law provides that such a vehicle be forfeited to the state. I can also say in terms of theft, which can simply be described getting one asset of ZESCO from where it is to another, with the intention of permanently depriving ZESCO will be deemed to be theft, and it will attract a penalty of 5 years. Okay? Maybe I can also take advantage to mention another common offense that our fellow citizens commit, which is fraudulent appropriation of power. Okay? This is simply where you or one interferes with the metering system, or indeed interferes with the meter itself, with the intent to deprive ZESCO to generate the required revenue. Such a person, once convicted, will attract a penalty of 5 years. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when it comes to the issue of destruction of ZESCO property and also theft of ZESCO installations, these are actually done by our community members. These are our relatives, it could be our brothers, our sisters, and people
Correct.
that we actually live with in our homes. How can the community be able to help ZESCO when it comes to the reporting of vandalism cases?
The community actually is cardinal in this fight, because like you correctly said, these are the people that we live with. They are our uncles, our brothers, our sisters, fathers, mothers. So members of the public are encouraged to report any suspicious acts. Okay? Even when you see someone idling near ZESCO installation, you as a concerned member, because this is a national asset, mm-hmm. Okay, you can question that person. Or if indeed one who may be masquerading to be a ZESCO employee was actually vandalizing, all ZESCO employees are given identification cards. So you can demand to be shown, okay, mm-hmm. as proof that, okay, this one is a ZESCO employee. So we actually rely more on the members of the community to assist in the fight against vandalism, because these installations are in our communities. Transformers, cables, they are in our communities. Mm-hmm. And once the community take their active part, then we are assured of managing to handle this scourge of vandalism. Mm-hmm. I can also take advantage of maybe, so we also have a toll-free line, which is 322, which members of the community can use to get in touch with us, so that we can quickly respond, bearing in mind that citizens themselves, they have the powers of arrest and take to the law enforcement agencies, so that together we fight this scourge of vandalism.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Kapika, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Malaiti Talk with ZESCO. Honestly, I had no idea that we could actually call ZESCO on the toll-free number and report some of these vandalism cases in our community. Personally, I've learned a lot today.
Thank you so much. My pleasure, Chimama.
Thank you. And to you, our special viewers, please report any vandalism cases to ZESCO or any cases of suspected vandalism in our communities. Remember, when destruction is done to our properties, it is us in our communities who get affected. Do not forget to get interactive with us on our WhatsApp number on 0977 795367. I have been your host, Hamulondo. Until next week, at the same time, good night and God bless you.